Before the world knew flame or fate, before the sanctum raised its gate, a dragon wandered tired and worn through misty skies of silver morn. It searched for peace, a place to lie, beneath the glow of moonlit sky, and in a valley hushed between two gentle hills of twilight green, it bowed its head in softened light and drifted deep to dreams of night. It dreamed of fire burning bright, of honor shining pure and white, of moonlit sacred, calm and true, of secrets old and wonders new. From dragon dreams the whispers grew, a hint of halls the world once knew, where mysteries danced in shadowed air, and magic bloomed in hearts that dare. That was the dawn of what would be, where five fought fate in unity. Their story closed, their watch now done, five voices fading into one. And so I speak across the yore, to those who brave what lies before. O hero born of flame or field, of moonlit craft or truth concealed, step forth, past revealed, come soon, your fate unsealed. For now the sanctum stirs to see what new-made legends you will be. The dragon breathes the dream once more, a calling through the ancient door. Hero before the past is through, the tale now waits to open you. Take clues I've left and missed and do. Seek what is hidden, chase what's true. For the sanctum keeps its promise still. In silent halls and moonlit chill, it watches all you choose to do. And it's long been waiting here for you.
Spells and Scepters. On the last episode of our group leaves the forest, in the journey they obtain a team mascot, an interesting wisp lantern nicknamed Morph, and met a very strange duo, Heimdall, a Legion member, and a giant sassy bird. Got some very interesting information about the academy and the world that they're in. They make their journey to try to get to the academy and make a few other interesting views and or perceptions of other people. Let's find out what happens next on this episode of Spells and Scepters.
Huzzah, huzzah.
All right.
The scene fades back in to etched brick, scraped with heart and soul, carved away to make runes. This steeple is unlike anything you've ever seen or dreamed, or could even imagine or perceive. At this moment, you're not even sure you could take it all in. The magic etchings along the archways, along the carved borders of the books, along the floor in which you walk. Every stone, every pillar, every surface covered in some sort of magical resonance. You step forward alongside your fellow friends and Heimdall to meet this figure named Father Tailius. But he calls you Fate's recruits, sent here to cavalier and stand a test against the forces of destiny. And you are not alone. Not only has your group made it here at this time and at this place, but so has many others. Many look like stragglers in groups of 2 or 3, with maybe a person who seems knowledgeable amongst them, but none standing out as a guide, as though Heimdall and this mysterious person adjacent to him do. But these 2 groups of 3 are special and unique. Other than that, there are more reasons that make each of you individuals unique. Vero, your eye literally going crazy at this moment as you try and look forward, but it's literally like pulling, like one of those people whose eyes start drifting away when they're talking to you. And it's trying to look at all of these magic runes all at once. And you can't control it, but it's like you can feel that itch in your eye to trying to flicker and trying to look around. Solaris, for the first time in your life, when you step into this building, this inner conflict between you being a night owl and feeling the grace of the warmth of the sun ends and quells. For once, you feel solitude and salute in the person that you are. Every making of every decision you have ever had feels like it has led you to this exact moment. Beside you, your friends, Wax and Cloud, they also feel some similar mementos as they try to discover why they are here as well. Heimdall is still behind you, arching forward, maybe looking a little bit more happy after we left off with Vero kind of like puffing his chest and kind of showing out just a little bit to this other group that was looking upon you.
Can I look at Heimdall and ask, what are we here? Like, what's happening? Like, why are we here? Like, just trying to pull him forward. Like, I grab his shoulder and try to like pull him next to me.
Yeah, sure. He's he kind of like clings down. Oh yeah, I guess I kind of forgot to mention that, huh? Well, I did say I would get you to the school. If you want to get through the school, I guess you got to see what fate has in store for you. And he like smiles. This smile that he hits you with, it's different. It's not comforting. It's not smug. It seems like for once you can actually see this connection between you and Heimdall in this smile, as if he's truly someone looking over for you, and he's just excited knowing that you're anticipated that you don't know what happens next or what, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Could I? I want to see if I can use dark sense around the room.
You absolutely could. I mean, you're just standing here anyways.
Yeah, I like to like just close my eyes and focus to see if I sense anyone that's been touched and or has the same affinity as me in this room, just in case.
Absolutely.
Do
But
I do?
you are using dark sense though, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Roll a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. I don't like you said disadvantage. Oh no.
It is pretty.
No!
See?
No! I usually think I rolled a 20, a nat 20, and then I rolled a 16.
I
I
see
have
that.
to go with the 16. That 16 with my proficiency goes up to 18.
Well, this warm candlelit room begins to fade from view. This silver etchings of these runes. You notice you're able to focus in just a brief moment before your eyes fully close. And while looking with your eyes like fully open, it's like staring right into someone's like flashlight, right? But when you close your eyes
Yep.
enough, your eyes kind of get enough shade that you can almost see beyond the flashlight. And
Yep.
as this light kind of like dims in your squint, you can see these runes look like they're carved with some sort of silver magic, exactly like the magic that you've seen rippling around on that letter. And as this warm candlelit room and these silver runes that glow fade from view into your dark vision, for the first time in your life, while not dreaming, you see a familiar silhouette, a blackened shadow that takes your exact features, though you can't make out many details. What are you doing here? It calls forward in a low, raspy whisper.
Can I whisper back? Like I know I'm in a room full of people, but like under my breath, I was like trying to find the truth.
That was a pretty good dark sense.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You gotta make it
I'm
up to
processing it.
me.
I'm thinking here how this would mechanically work. Um,
I just want you to know I rolled a nat 20 and then a 16.
I know
That's
that's
tripping
I'm
me up
taking
right
that into
now.
consideration. I'm thinking about it. This thing is like questioning what you're doing in this place, not in your head. Um,
Oh.
so you dark sensed and it's obeying, but it's like it's holding back. Like he's not trying to give you your answer. He's trying to ask a question. And since you did the correct thing and you didn't give in to its question and you
Mhm,
basically maintain control, what's called focus, uh,
mhm.
I'm gonna say that you win this interaction, and I'm not gonna make you roll for what would have happened next. Instead,
Okay, thank you,
I
thank
will
you,
let
thank
you
you.
know that you feel like you are in very extreme control of this thing. Maybe in dreams before it has appeared to you like one of those sleep paralysis demons that sits on your chest, like when you're right in between waking up and not waking up, and you're like in this not quite REM state, but your body's so deeply relaxed, and it would maybe be like on your chest observing you, or around the room observing you, and maybe in dreams you've had nightmares this thing maybe even jumped in front of attacks that would happen in your nightmares, but it has never been controllable. It has always seemed like a hostile force. And in this one moment, maybe
Mhm,
it's because you're conscious and not dreaming. You feel like you could ask this thing anything and squirm a confession out of it.
mhm. Huh. Can I hmm. So, he asked me, "What am I doing here?" I told him, "I'm trying to find the truth." We're in a room with sigils, right? Like, there's not, like, any with random like, with a bunch of different people with different, abilities, right? Could
Your
I ask
body
him to see
is.
if there's anyone Yeah, like, could I ask him to see if there's anyone like me or has been touched like me, in a sense?
If I whisper his name, my death is absolute. And even after death, there are things that are much worse. Things that he can do. And then your dark sense ends. All
Oh,
of
that's great.
this like shuddering, shaking feeling takes over your
Like,
body
ugh.
as Heimdall's like he's got a hand on your shoulder and he maybe doesn't know exactly what you're doing, but he thinks something might be afflicting you or affecting you. And so he's like trying to make sure you're steady. He's like, Vero, hey, you're not gonna die, right? That would look really bad
No,
on me.
no, just not gonna die anytime soon, just had a chill down my spine. What did I miss?
Solaris, while this has been happening, while he's been going into his dark sense and uh, investigating this room here, Father Tailius has continued on talking. He goes on and on. I see fate is with us this year. And he goes on to express even more sentiments about the difference between fate and destiny. Fate being your choice, your decision to go about life and take what comes from your past and use it in your present to achieve a future you desire, versus the rigid forces of destiny. He goes on to call you guys again all of fate's recruits, and that he is happy to have you, but there is great trials ahead of you. And now he's going to measure each of you. And this is
All right.
when Vero kind of like steps forward, and he goes, "Whoa, why don't we start with our friend Heimdall? As you were a guide this year, did you not see it fit to find a party on your own petition?" Heimdall kind of like laughs. He's like, "Well, when you run into the best, you kind of just know it." And he puts his hand up in a hand gesture like he's holding it out to the air for you guys to follow suit and join Tailius up on this kind of raised platform that he's standing at. And this is when you really see where Father Tailius has walked over to at this point, Vero. He is no longer in the back by the door. He has walked over to where essentially you would think that there would be some sort of pedestal and raised thing for him to give sermons or something, but instead it is just a raised platform with a giant curtain behind it.
Okay.
And he is just standing in front of it. As you guys, you and Vero and Wax and Jimbo, sorry, Schnur and Jimbo, I knew I was going to mess up someone's name. As you all walk towards this curtain, we will just start with Schnur and Jimbo just for the sake of simplicity, and then we will go on to you guys. So Father Tailius pulls back this giant red curtain. Its ripples flap and echo. The dust in this room kind of picks up a little bit as it magically swings down the rails on both sides, almost like it's levitating or enchanted in some manner. And behind it, it reveals a large, ancient-looking machine. It's got these giant, that almost look like copper pipes coming out of it and bending and warping around and twisting with each other before sticking all out into the air like a giant organ, like the piano, not the inside of your body thing. And it looks like these giant organ pipes coming out of what appears to be just a regular giant stone. But to the normal eye, it may look like stone. To you guys, this looks like a massive 5 foot by 5 foot version of the stone that Jimbo is carrying in his bag. Except instead of having a giant piranha etched in it, there are literally thousands of different micro-sized etchings, like a handwriting even smaller than Schnur's. And thousands of these things are like rotating around it, almost like looking at a sphere that has been sliced over and over and over again from bottom to top, just straight through. And you see all these rings of glowing runes and different sigils making their way around this sphere, or this spherish shape at all times. The only thing that breaks up these is this giant set of pipes that has been integrated into the very top of it, where there is no runes, in the very bottom where it sits. I present to you sorry. And I present to you, my dear recruits of fate, the Aether Crucible. And Jimbo begins to step forward, Schnur on his shoulder presumably. Father Tailius smiles wide. We've never had two people be tested by the Crucible at the same time. Jimbo reaches his hand forward, touching the middlemost part of the sphere. But before his hand can make contact with it, all of the runes that were flowing in these perfect symmetrical lines like rings begin to warp and bend, avoiding the handprint of his hand perfectly and continuing to flow. And then his hand touches with the crucible, and all of these different sigils on it begin to light up and glow a different elemental color or archetype color, whatever it is, glowing neon pinks and purples and whites and grays and greens and reds and blues, dark blues, soft blues, aura silver-like blues, and very little hues of dark. Very spotted, like almost dropping an ink pen on a piece of paper. A black sigil here, a black sigil there, a black sigil here. Very interesting, Father Tailius exclaims as these sigils are lighting up and glowing and projecting these holograms across different parts of the room. but none that make any sense to anyone that doesn't understand what these arcane sigils are. However, one of them would catch your eye, Vero. One of these sigils looks like a circle with an upside down A in it, and then in the topmost part, facing downwards, is the symbol for fire. Kind of looks almost like a campfire flame bending and warping around, but to you, you don't see that arcane sigil. You see the eye of a dragon. In that,
I start to
in that
up,
projection.
Yeah,
because it's something you've seen before, so your knowledge is connecting to that symbol.
Okay.
If you said something right after that, I might have missed it.
I was gonna say Vero's muscles and arms tense up as almost like he's like, it's almost like trying to start like a small little panic attack because it reminds him of the dragon.
Yeah, just like the eye of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a frightening
he stills
sight.
himself. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, there's not very much else to say for theirs. I'm going to, of course, give them a little bit of filler and tell them their projections and stuff, but we as the audience won't get to know very much more of theirs. But apparently it just gauged Schnur and Cloud. So now we don't know exactly what that means, but all these different sigils started lighting up and glowing and projecting. And Vero, you can recognize one of these projections as something that actually exists. That appears to you as the eye of a dragon, it's projected out across as a beam of light and energy. And then they step down, and that leaves Vero and Solaris standing right behind Heimdall. He has followed you up to this like side part of the stage.
I look at Solaris. It's like, ladies first.
All right. I'm pretty excited. I don't know what all this is about, but let's see what it says. So I go ahead and walk up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to do any moves or anything?
Yeah, you step forward very elegantly, very confidently. You're like, man, that wasn't so bad for them. I wonder what I'll get. And you throw your hand down. And again, just like it did for them, right before your hand makes contact with this sphere, doesn't really matter where you choose to put your hand, it will always bend and not allow it to actually touch your fingers. And it's going to make the perfect outline of your hand while still flowing perfectly, seamlessly. And your hand makes contact with the stones. You maybe watch for a second and admire as how these runes dance around your hand. They're so tiny and so perfectly well written. It's as if this has happened 1,000,000 times for them. And it's just another day, just another process for this machine. And you throw your hand down and it bends and warps around. And as your hand makes contact with the stone, you can feel this what feels like pressure at first, maybe an inch above where your eyebrows would meet at, directly above in your forehead. You feel this pressure poking and poking and poking and getting a little bit further, and you might even like wince a little bit in pain and look over at Father Tailius, who notices this, and for a moment his big glowing smile almost seems to frown, as if he doesn't understand why you could be in pain. And then runes start to glow and light up. But not like they did for Cloud and Schnur, how it started glowing kind of simultaneously, encapsulating the whole sphere. Yours goes from one side, then back to the other, from one side, then back to the other, from one side, then back to the other, rapidly. Ding, 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 ding. Lighting up and glowing before the two sides finally make one line that connects in unison, right at your hand. All of these start glowing and projecting lights across the room as the magic is gauged for its potential. You feel this echo of sunlight. You feel this warmth of being cradled or being swaddled and held and rocked back and forth by your mother. You feel this insane warmth and ability to do anything. And then you feel this coldness sitting on your shoulder, this imagination, this potential, this ability to do anything. But without the sun, no days would come and nothing would get done. And these two feelings kind of swirl and battle. And you could almost interpret this as what's happening on the sphere as it's bouncing back and forth, before finally you look around the room and you see all of these lights that have bounced off. It casts a hologram that only to you seems like a perfect mural. For a second, you can see everything from the start of your life all the way to when you were an infant. Roll a regular 20. And where would you like, if you were to look at this, if you were to look at your whole life just for one brief second, where do you think your eyes would fall? The beginning, the middle, or the end?
I guess the beginning. I'm going to say beginning.
All right, roll a regular 20. It's how much you can take in like a second, essentially.
I got a 7, looks like.
There's an orange cat sitting next to your cradle as your mom finishes swaddling you and she sets you down. You can't quite see your mom's face, but she sets you down and you can clearly see this orange cat kind of looking at you, its head twisting in confusion as it's trying to figure out. It's like, that's not a kitty. Is probably what it's thinking.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right.
Your potential has been gauged. Father Tailius smiles as you come out of this state no longer wincing. While you walked into this room feeling rather balanced, you now feel not an imbalance, but if you start leaning one way or the other too hard, you can definitely feel its pull a little more dramatically. Even if you start thinking about the sun too much, you can feel that pull. Or if you start thinking about the moon too much, you can feel that pull. Yeah, but you feel confident in yourself to make the right decision, hopefully.
Okay.
And then that only leaves Vero.
Alright, I hand over my bag, which, by the way, inside my bag has Morph, our little wisp lantern.
Oh, yeah.
To Heimdall. I was like, just keep that safe for me. And then I start to just walk, but literally look around at every sigil that's around this contraption. Like, try to make sense of more sigils or more glyphs, trying to see if I find anything else. And then I look up to
insight real
Father
quick.
Tailius.
Insight? Yeah, roll insight real quick. Or perception, I guess. I don't. Or if you're trying to learn it or if you're trying to observe it. It doesn't really matter. Whichever you want.
I'll do insight because I'm trying to learn it. Just normal?
Oh, yeah. Just regular.
Or... 16.
Oh.
Like, all I'm doing is looking around, trying to pick apart the symbols, but I got a 16, so does that let me decipher them, like, know the exact symbol, or is it just jumbo?
I'd say... Okay. So when you were walking into Riverwood, there was this white arch over the bridge, and it had these different runes in it that lit up as you walked past. You see that, and you can remember better what one of the three look like. Roll a d4.
Two.
-1. All right, so that would be a 1. You see what You see what looks kind of like a circle with a another circle inside of it that's like a dash circle, like these lines that are dashed out, and you get a feeling from it that this is a very defensive type of magic. Not only that, but you see this same symbol spinning around on the orb in front of you. You catch it once or twice, and as you're looking for it the third time, you catch that one that looked like the dragon's eye. Although you've seen it as a dragon's eye, you could still roughly see what the arcane wording was looking like. And now you catch it again, and it's like more word form. I'd say you've gained insight on both of these if you put them in your character sheet notes. If you can even remember what the dragon's eye one was described to look like.
Look like a campfire.
The shield one is a circle with another circle inside of it that's like dash lines. So I just put circle with a dash circle inside of it.
Circle with dash inside. And then the other one looked like a campfire.
I'll just be a nice DM and tell you the other one. It was an upside down A with like a upside down fire, like a campfire looking flame, like how you would think of it classically being drawn, like one swirl, big swirl, small swirl. There's like two little flames licking out and then one big flame flickering. Like a little campfire.
Upside down A and an upside down campfire flame?
Yeah, you can just put upside down flame. I was just trying to describe it a little better for at-home listeners. It's very hard to take a drawing and audibly explain it line by line, but I try.
Gotcha. Alright, and I just I walk up and then I look at Father Tailius smirkly, like I give him a smirk, but also I'm trying to read his physical like body language to see if he's like concerned or like excited, like something like that. I tried to read into him while slowly.
I would say he's not even trying to be deceiving at all. So you would you'd be able to read him like an open book.
Gotcha.
He is more excited for this moment than probably anything in his whole life.
Okay. So then I reach my hand. I don't like slam it down. I like slowly put my hand and let it slowly hover over it. Like I let that magic come to me rather than I.
You pick up another interesting fact too.
Sure.
Heimdall's smile like overlaps and fills in, and now you think you see where he got it from. This looks like a bigger, much more sturdy, even more glowing version of Heimdall's like anxious cover-up smile that he gives you. This is solid. This is, you know, what that
genuine, the real McCoy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right, so I just I put my hand near the crucible, but instead of like slamming it down or placing it to where I'm trying to go for it, I let it try to go to my hand. Like I let my hand hover over it.
As you go to put your hand down, the room grows quiet. Everyone's anxious. They're leaning forward. They're like, oh man, what's going to happen for this guy? What are we going to see? What are these visions going to be? Because some of them can make out some of these runes that are shooting across the room too. And you go to put your hand down. But as your hand gets closer and closer, they start to make the outline of your hand, just like before, bending and still flowing simultaneously and smoothly. But as your hand gets closer and closer to the stone, that handprint, that outline, gets bigger and bigger, expands, almost as if these wards are moving away from you. Your hand getting closer and closer, and this handprint has grown to be like a foot large now. Just absolutely gigantic outline of your hand. And as you go to actually put your hand down, these glyphs, almost for a split second, appear to jump off of the stone, and it's almost like watching a fish jump out of the water and try and bite something that's on top of the water, except they never make contact with you. And as they kind of like jump up, your brain recognizes that something just doesn't quite look right, or maybe that the magic is messing with your brain, or a wire in your head has gone loose, and then it looks normal again. You look down and it's outlined your hand perfectly, just like it did the others, flowing smoothly, simultaneously. You look over at Father Tailius like, did that happen? And his eyes are in an expressive state, like he is surprised and even more excited somehow at the same time. And then you look over at Heimdall, and his eyes are just like rolling back, like, of course, like, how could that not have happened? You seem to be missing a clue here, is what you gauge. But then, as this magic starts to glow, you see, much like it did for Schnur and Jimbo, this cascade of lights begins enveloping it, glowing in all these different rune colors and lights, fragments of yellows and oranges and hues of bright reds and crimsons and indigos. You see all these beautiful colors cascading around the side as the whole orb is eventually enveloped. You see every single glyph has lit up and is projecting across the room. Even the black ones, all the dark ones, and eventually, and it just appears like this huge barrage of light that is swirling and enveloping, taking even longer to process and gauge as it's shooting them out in pieces and patches. At this point, you might even still be looking around to see that almost mural-like spectral projection that Ray's seen, and yours is like patchwork. It's like it's trying to put a piece here, and then it's like shifting it around, and then it's like, well, fuck, and then it tries to put another piece here and like shifts it around, and you can tell something, it's like lagging. It's like it's trying to load in too many files at once. And Father Tailius has begun laughing. He's like, what a way to show him, Heimdall! And Heimdall's like, I told you I found the best. And it's like glowing and erupting with these lights as it tries to connect this mural, before finally it all just like does what you can only imagine is like a capture tool to just encircle it all, crams it, minimizes it, smashes it together, and you get this really, really tough, distorted mural looking picture that is almost just too encapsulating to even describe. It would be looking like a video of your life flashing before your eyes, but it freezes every frame and expands, and then inside of that frame there's another memory happening, and then it freezes and expands, zooms in, freezes and expands, memory after memory after memory, and the whole time it's like looking through a cracked mirror. So everything's like backwards, flipped, distorted, cracked, splintered, pieces of the memories aren't woven together quite right. Roll a regular 20, and would you like to look at past, future, or present? Because it kind of is going on your mind. As it jumbles it more and your perception of it becomes even more jumbled, it jumbles itself even more. And this cycle of distortion just kind of like bends and winds, and you have like a moment to like be precise and like think, and this is your moment.
Future. That's 17.
This happens very, very quick. In one of the memories that pauses and expands, it like rewinds, and it's like, and it shrinks back down, and you see Heimdall, and his helmet is like literally cut in half, falling off. He's down on a knee. He spits a little bit of blood, and he looks over and he's like, I guess you did master all the magic. Hopefully that's enough to kill that fucker. And then the memory ends.
Ah, no! No!
And Tailius
I like
is
visibly
just like
look at Heimdall like concerned wise, like
they can't see that mural. They can only see like a piece of it glowing, almost like you did for Solaris. So they have no idea what you just seen.
Okay.
For them, it's like even worse. It's like holding up a magnifying glass and trying to look out of it from far away while you're holding it away from you, not up to your eye. So it'd be like they're like trying to look across the room for any little picture that makes sense. But for you, you're like actually interpreting it and attuning to it, and it's changing based on what you're looking for and what you're looking at. And it apparently shows you a future where you have achieved success in mastering all the magic. Or at least knowing all the magic, whatever.
Yeah.
And that is it. It like kind of like shudders for you and starts powering down. The lights stop glowing, and he's like, "Very good, very good. It appears we have one that is bound to awaken. Very good for you. It appears, even as a recruit of fate, destiny favors you."
I visibly like just shake my head, trying to regain myself. Like, okay, trying to like that, and I just look at Heimdall with like a worried smile.
He smiles back, with this like sharp look back to his eye, almost like when you first met and he was guiding you. You could tell maybe he saw this from that moment. Worry not, friends. We have seen many great things in the spectacle of our first batch of recruits. But magic answers the spirit, the heart, and the will. Each moment, past, present, future, will all equally be weighed when your time comes. So fret not. All of you will have a chance to overcome destiny and take fate into your own hands. He is smiling. This light at the end of his staff that's been kind of like lightly glowing and kind of illuminating the whole room almost like a chandelier is now glowing even brighter, radiant. He definitely seems very, very happy at this moment. All right, who next? And you see everybody else has went from standing in the door in like a half circle to a neat, organized line, ready to basically rock and roll. They've all follow your lead. Most notable, Kaylin Emberforge. She is one of the only groups of 2 that made it here with no guide, and hers only lights up with these bright crimson reds. Projections across the room look like a forest caught on fire. Huge embery waves of waking fire lashing down and smashing like tsunamis. Eisen Veilwinter, the guy who came with her, he has this look to him that just doesn't look right even for an Arcling. This blue in his eyes, this kind of frostbitten color that is just absolutely eating at his flesh, and these little specks covering him in random spots, as common as someone would have freckles. And his glyphs light up the whole room, and as they do, the room gets colder and colder and colder and colder. And Vero, you might even pick up one of these glyphs, and instead of being able to actually recognize the magic, you get a idea of the image, kind of like they were doing for you and for you did for Solaris. And you see this what appears to be some sort of watery tornado that goes to touch down with the ground and then bends and spikes back up, and then the whole tornado funnel begins to get thinner and thinner and thinner until it looks like the tornado is essentially upside down and at its thinnest point at the top before slamming down, and this whole contortion of water and typhoon of bending air becomes an ice-like basilisk with these rigid giant tundra spikes across it. Miro Hazeweave. She is one of these groups of 3 that made it with no guide. And she looks very, very satin with these purple colors painted across her face, this dark blue skin, and this stormy looking color to her hair. The guy that is in the back that was looking at Heimdall that you puffed your chest out at, Vero, he would speak up before Father Tailius even gets to say the next person's name that's to step up to the forge. This guy would step up and start speaking first. Well, Heimdall, you were the first. We shall be the last. You set the high expectations, but we shall shatter them. Show them. And the 3 step up in unison. 1, 2, 3. Your potentials could be measured 2 at once. He looks at Jimbo and Schnur. So why can't theirs? All 3 of these acolytes step up. Most of them, 2 of them, there's only 3 in this pairing. 2 of them look rather mundane. One is a softer, plump-looking human carrying a large battle axe across his back, and the other is an elfling lady who has silky hair, 2 short daggers on her hips, and she also appears to be carrying most of the supplies for the trio. And then, of course, there's one that has been staring you down this whole time, Vero. You just have not noticed. He is just a little too keen to get caught. Or for you to even have a chance of detecting him, really. As he hasn't really done anything. He's just been looking. And that is the human that appears to be standing closest to this other mentor figure. Go on, Draven. He's this other figure says, telling him to step up. This is highly unusual. Is it not, Silith? Don't you think maybe they should go one at a time? He clears his throat, but his smile does not fade. He does not pertain to look any more serious than he did moments ago, other than this thought that seems very serious that enters the air. They are going to work as a team and move as a team, Silith replies. Why not be measured as a team? He adds. Father Tailius offers no further rebuttal. The 3 put their hands up, Draylen in the middle, the elfling to his right, and the human to his left. He is also appears to be human. They put all of their hands towards the middle at the same time. The sigils do appear to bend and be in some sense of state of confusion at first, not really able to morph and bend to 3 different figures or hands, as when Jimbo and Schnur did it, it was just evaluating them together as one spirit only through Jimbo's hand. It didn't have to make different openings. But it bends per chance. Each of the 2 on the side has a silhouette where their hand can set, and their hand gets closer and closer and closer, and so does Draylen's, though the middle seems more contorted, distorting and spiraling in on itself, something we haven't seen happen before. And before the other 2 can make contact with it, every single rune on the sphere lights up again. These huge lights and bright, vibrant energy of radiant beams shoot out of it before, but these ones aren't ethereal images that cast these beautiful illusions across the room. These two are bright, striking bolts of energy that moves like lightning, one black and one gold, and each of them pierces through the shoulder of the two standing on the side. The elfling having her left shoulder pierced, and the human lad having his right shoulder pierced, as they are ricocheted away from Draylin, and the sigils on it jump out, bend, and actually wrap around his hand. It wraps around, binding his hand, slamming it against the sphere as these lights start to glow. Every single color, every sigil now enlightened on this sphere as it radiates around faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. It does not appear to lag or glitch out like it did for Vero. No, it is going into a frenzy. Radiant beams of energy and light shooting across the room. His eyes glowing with this radiant rainbow aurora, as we can assume that whatever mural both of you seen is being projected straight into his brain, as this vibrant light and color, this aura-like veil of rainbow is working its way up his arm, almost to his elbow, climbing up, and it lights in his eyes shining brighter, his body almost trembling under the amount of pressure, and then you see Tailius has smacked the stone with his staff, and it has turned off. All of the sigils except one have ceased to glow, and as it rotates around, that one is right where his handprint is. His hand removes away from the stone, him falling back into Silith's hand. Silith catches him before he can even collapse to the ground, and that one sigil is glowing bright. Its light erupting across the room. You can see some sort of distortion on the back wall. Both of you can take a chance to investigate it if you'd like. Or you can investigate something else in the room. Your choice, whatever you want.
I'll investigate that. Hold up. Roll investigation.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Ooh. 17. 17.
As if in this image that's being cast across the wall, again, this happens in just a brief couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
There's footsteps. You're looking in first-person point of view out at something, and it appears to be this warping hill where footsteps appear. The eyes continue to trace them as they climb this hill, more and more and more and more footsteps, before a figure of black appears. This shadowy looking monstrous thing that looks about the size of a regular person, though. Just its shadowy silhouette is contorted before the image starts to like break and fracture, almost like your vision did. And then right before it can fold and erase, you see that shadowy figure turns around, and it is none other than Vero. And then the
Holy.
And Solaris, why don't you take a free investigation on anything you would like while this is all happening?
Can I investigate, like, if there's anybody else that's like me in the room? Like, because we didn't, you know what I mean?
What do you mean, like you?
Like kind of how I got, like, that feeling, like that, like, remember when I was there and Tailius was looking at me and he kind of, like, got a little confused of why I would be feeling pain, like that pain in my forehead? If anybody else gets that same type of senses?
No. Nobody else winces in pain except, of course, the two people who just got a fucking lightning bolt shot through them.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a pain-free experience for everyone else. And you didn't get hurt. I would imagine it like, kind of like maybe what it would feel like to poke your thumb with a thumbtack very lightly, but if nothing actually happened, you know, like you would just get that sensation like something poked you. And you like just flinched for a second. You're like, ow, that didn't feel nice. But it didn't. You didn't get like hurt or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Cool. All right.
Like you didn't even take 1 point of damage. It was that minimal.
All right. If I investigate the like the people that we just saw with the whole lightning bolt again, is it going to tell us anything more than what Vero's already learned?
It could, if that's your choice.
Well,
I can't tell
I
you
think
for
yeah.
sure
Let's
what
try
you
it out.
can't.
Because
You
I
can
don't
investigate
really have
anything.
nothing else that I want to ask right now. I'm kind of just seeing, what's happening. All
All
right.
right,
So
roll
I
an
just roll
assist.
a regular
Or
a
just a
d20.
Yep. And then add your investigation.
Okay, so let's see. What's my investigation? I rolled a 15, and my investigation is
I would say a 15.
-1. So it's 14.
A 50. Okay, 14. Damn. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
15 is high enough to see anything that would be hidden in this exact moment.
Okay.
The kid, the guy that got hit with the lightning bolt, he is in pain. It looks like it seared the fuck out of him. The girl, it cut a hole through her shit for sure. She got struck, but the wound is already healed, already closed. Draylin is already helping her stand back up. And you could detect that what happened was essentially all of Draylin's magic energy got like pulled out of him towards the sphere and then ruptured. All of his damage potential went one way and all of his healing potential went the other way.
Oh.
That's what
So
appears
it
to have happened to you.
almost separated their powers, sort of.
Yeah, like something went wrong with yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like rejecting them, sort of, kind of, but like messed their stuff up. Okay. Vero, what do you think about all of this? I mean, what are your thoughts? I don't know what's going on. Everything's so
I
interesting.
just smell smoke and crispy human flesh.
Yeah.
Dude got fucking
Everyone's
smoked.
getting all these sigils and seeing all these powers. Like, it's crazy.
I'm in my head. Like she's asking me, like, I just smell crispy human flesh.
Yeah. All I know is burning flesh. I can't think.
But my brain is thinking of like the vision or the investigation roll I just did. Like I saw myself.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, Father Tailius would run over there and he would go to the lad that got the rupture shot through his shoulder, and you would hear him, "Lay hands," and he would cast lay on hands and press his healing, glowing golden aura light from his hand across the shoulder wound, and then as his hand moved from the shoulder, it would be completely recovered and healed. After this, all of the new recruits have been gauged for their magical potential, and the process is complete. Father Tailius asked to have a word with Silith and Heimdall in his quarters. After a time, this room has gone from quiet to echoing with silent chatter. Whispers, giggles, aches and moans from the guy that was shot through with the lightning and is kind of still arching forward. Even though he's healed, he's like rotating his shoulder in the socket and like, and so there's like all kinds of different noises and chatters going on from this, again, half circle that is basically enveloped around half of the room, all the way from one side of the stage past the door around to the other side of the stage. The only area that is not blocked off is the area where Tailius and Heimdall and Silith all exited to go into this private study at. And you guys are sitting here taking in this chatter when Heimdall returns from that door again. It opens with a slow creaking groan, and he steps through, his armor clanging. You can tell it's him before he even comes into view, as the armor squeaks and wobbles back and forth. He stands steadily in the doorway and smiles at you guys. Hello, everybody. Hey, hi, I'm Heimdall. I'm not really in charge around here, but Tailius asked me to let you guys all know that we are going to reconvene here tonight at sunset we're going to prepare for our trip to Mistvale Sanctum. Until then, you guys can all go out into the town, explore, gather the supplies that you will need, and if you will look to your left, and a table comes floating in behind him and continues floating past him, or right there, I guess. And he like points at it as it's continuing, like as a mind of its own or not being controlled by him. He's like pointing and following, and he's like, you get the idea. Go up to that table and grab yourselves a voucher that'll help you guys get something from the shops in town. Everybody, please take one. We're kind of running low on funding around here, so it looks. And the church gives a ironically timed groan as it settles in with the wind. And so that table is kind of like floating around near the door that you guys walked in from. Everyone else like piling through and looking at these pamphlets that are kind of like weighted down with some sort of like rock or stone. And there's all these voucher pamphlets. It's just like one page that gives you a list of things that you can get with that page. There's a variety of different pages, but you have to decide which type you want. So there is equipment for battle. There is preparation, like stuff that you would have had access to the first time around when we made character backgrounds, stuff like that. There is food vouchers for the cheese shop, of course. There is a exclusive voucher for the Riverside Market. It says approximate value of 80 shillings of silver. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was missing one. Sorry. I had to look at my notes. That's it. So you can either get some sort of weapon or something like that from this resistance cause. You can get a voucher for equipment to get something that maybe you would have liked to have gotten the first time around. You can get a voucher for food, exclusively cheese, or you could get a voucher for the Riverside Market.
All right, I would like to pick a voucher for the Riverside Market.
All right.
I will take the equipment voucher to go get something like
basically any starting loot is on the table, and it would be like, say you came here with no backpack. The idea is that it would be a backpack. Like you would get the stuff that you would have had the chance to get the first time around.
I'll just take the battle one, going for like weapons and stuff.
Okay. I'm sorry if I misled you with that description. You would still be able to pick the things you want. I'm just saying it's basically what you had offered, what you were able to describe and choose from the first time around. You get that basically same process again. That's what I meant. Sorry. But yeah, you want either one? Which one?
I'll just take the battle one, the one for like weapons and stuff like that.
Okay. And then you guys would be standing there next to the door.
Could I just look at Heimdall and wait for my bag because he's still carrying it since I gave it to him to hold?
Yeah, sure. He hands that back to you.
And I just grab him on his shoulder, like, hey, whenever you get a chance, can you take that stick out of that person's ass because they were being rude to you?
Yeah, he kind of like chuckles. He's like, who, Silith? Oh, he wishes he could have a stick in his ass for me.
And with that laughter, with that chuckle, I start heading out the door.
And then yet, but in that far back hill where the green is really tall to the right, that is where the church will essentially be. Yeah, like somewhere over there. So you guys are going to be going down into this market right where Vero just zoomed in at. That's essentially the Riverside Market. That whole right side, there's tons of places. This big building to your right, directly after you would go up the bridge and to the right, that's Ratman's Cheese House, where you guys stopped initially before going up the hill to the Resistance of Fate. So you guys are going to be going across that marketplace there. I do not have a battle map for this place either, but this I hand drew, as you guys can see. And it is not quite done yet, but as we come back to Riverwood in future episodes, hopefully I'll have had time to update this. So you can go back to the regular battle map now. I just wanted to give you guys a visual of where you'd be looking at. There's a cool little water wheel there.
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah, I love it.
And some different odds and ends around. But yeah, we're mainly on the right side there. That's the marketplace, and where you guys would be heading. So I just wanted to pull that up.
The market.
Yeah, like weapons or armor or some
The
stuff like that.
blacksmiths is just past Ratman's, going the opposite way of the marketplace. So you guys could stop at the marketplace while you're on your way, and then continue over that canal right there. And the blacksmiths is right there. Basically on the left side of Ratman's. It'd be in between where Ratman and that water wheel were.
Okay.
But back on the path a little bit.
Let's go.
You guys continue down this hill, which once gleamed with this bright, imminent, radiant light as you were walking up it. The green almost seemed like something out of your imagination. But now that you've walking down it and reality is setting in, you guys really get a sense of how magical this place actually is. This isn't a place to just have your magic examined or where people are gathering with magic. This is a place where fates are literally colliding, and where, as Tailius promised, that potential is placed into your hands. With every step, you guys can now carry this potential in thought. As you make your way down this hill and briefly break into the Riverside Market, there's all kinds of these tents made out of dilapidated fabrics and sewn together patchworks of these tan, almost like potato sack worked material. All kinds of them. There's probably like 4 or 5 right as soon as you break into the corner of the market at the bottom of the hill, and there's some more permanent structures kind of around the back of them, making your way down this road, kind of filling in the background scenery a little bit. At first it looks like you're at some sort of fair or some sort of community sale. Everybody has these tents and things are going by. People are walking by, eating all kinds of different odds and ends. What appears to be like frog legs and some sort of really big, giant, but thin curled fingers that are like covered in some sort of powdery sugar looking thing. And everybody's eating and going around and shopping at these various stalls, and some of the bigger, more permanent places in the background are really, really thriving with all this foot traffic. You can see like happy vendors even through some of their like, maybe some of them are as permanent as an actual building and have like a window. You can see them on the inside like happily selling and going about their business. It seems like it is very busy around this time of year here.
Fun. So, Vero, I guess we're going to stop at the blacksmith first for you.
Oh, you're at the market right
we
now.
can shop.
Yeah,
Oh,
just-
Yeah, we can shop for what you would like, and then we could stop by the blacksmith before we
Okay.
get back.
So I have 80 shillings for the market. Let's see. I think I can get a little snack. I want a little frog leg. How much is that?
5 shillings.
All right, let me get frog leg.
All right.
Are you keeping track of this math, or am I?
Yeah, you got 75 left.
Okay. I just need to know if I need to write it down. Okay. Let's see. I already have bow and arrow.
If it was
see.
actual money, I would say you'd probably need to keep track of it on your page, but this is just like a voucher for money. So you're just getting a bundle of
that's fine.
things together and then trading in a piece
Okay.
of paper for it.
How about some fabric? Like what else? What other kind of stuff they got for sale? What kind of?
So there's all. It would be kind of like a pickers market. Like as you would go up to each booth, you would investigate and see different odds and ends. Almost anything you could imagine would probably be here somewhere. It would just be a matter of which vendor is selling it and what they're haggling for, really. So you just tell me what you're looking for, and I will tell you if it's
I
here.
am looking
There is an
for.
odds of ends from these food markets that are, like I mentioned. But there's also some other things like, sure, maybe there's some sort of upholstery type tent where they're literally giving you pieces of fabric for tents or different cuts of fabric for maybe bags, whatever you would really use fabric to patch. Maybe some of these tents that you see around that are patched up with this work. This could maybe be where they're getting those patches from.
Okay.
So there would be like a fabric
I lean into Solaris like, hey, by the way, remember you trampled over my red tent.
Ooh, yeah, see, I want to get some tent fabric. I knew I wanted fabric. Yeah, let me see if anyone's having some tent fabric and maybe another little ball of twine so that he can like use it to make the tent hang on a tree.
You could get a full brand new tent for 20 shillings.
Oh, didn't put that in the basket.
Can I barter for it with her? Can I like bring down the price?
Sure. What you got?
What?
You walk up to this tent and there's all these upholsteries and different products, and you definitely see that she has like some tents set to the side that she's like deliberately clawed, or maybe she bought them torn up, but she has them setting there so that she can show you how to basically apply these patches. She's this elfling lady. She seems to be middle-aged, but her eyes are bright and vibrant like a young lady, and her hair is done up in this giant like Cinderella like layered cake looking multi-stack, as it's just woven up so elegantly. And she seems like a mess, but her hair is very well taken care of.
Got you. I walk up to her with the tent, like I pull the tent on my pocket. It's like, the answer to my prayers. Kind vendor, will you please help me either replace and or fix this tent for me? I know it seems worn out, but I'm really looking for something new or equal to its value if possible.
She whips around in excitement, and a giant like spit of tobacco goes flying past your foot onto the ground. She turns around and has this like giant lump of something inside of her cheek, and she's like, "Well, howdy, how are you doing? You interested in some of my fabrics or my patching fabric works, or would you like a tent? Tents, tarps,
what would you have
fabrics, we got it all. Pitch, post, and packets to take it home."
Would you show me the type of tents that you have?
Anything on the side is 20 shillings right there. Below this table where she has these torn up ones leaning against so that she can like quickly access them and show someone how to patch. There are like actual regular just tents laying there. There's a variety of colors, maybe a couple black ones, a blue one, a red one, a green one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like laying there.
Kind vendor, would you mind accepting a trade-in or a little less value if I give you this red one and take another one? Like, is there a way that we can do that?
She looks at it and she's like, "Well, it's not really torn up." She grabs it. She rips a giant hole in it. "How much of a discount were you thinking?"
Like, well, it wasn't torn up, but since you already valued the product, you can see that its value is pretty good color, and you saw that it wasn't torn up. You already put your hands on it, so I was thinking maybe a new one for 10 shillings instead of 20. And you can use this beautiful red color for any other patchworks. Awesome.
Yeah, so she'll take that because now she has another tent that she can use to show people how to patch.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So that would put you at 65.
Okay. I'm trying to see if other stuff I might like need or want. I've got bowls, I've got like spoons and all kind of other stuff. Maybe I can get like a cool jacket, like a nice outfit. Let's check out where the clothing bin is.
Yeah, there's all kinds of definitely stuff like that. Like it looks like a scattered out yard sale of different apparels. I mean, you could just pick a booth, and it would be a different era. You got like some pilgrim looking clothes. You got some old medieval not like knight's clothes, but not like the peasants' clothes. Squire, like the squire dress clothes. Maybe even some bright colors that look like they were from a jester that got taken out. And some various different wares. It would just depend on which table you looked at. Go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
All right. Give me. Man, it's so hard to read so little. I always zoom in.
That'd be a 1.
Okay, yep, all right.
There is something that catches your eye. It doesn't look like it would fit you though. There is a definitely large male crocodilian looking leather jacket that's actually kind of bitching. But it doesn't.
I don't know.
It might be a little big on you though.
I'm gonna have to pass. Maybe let's look at a jewelry booth or something.
Yeah. I mean, they would have different jewelry scattered out across various tables and booths, necklaces, arm perchants, rings.
Yeah, I want a cool arm cuff, and I want a cool ring with a green gem in it.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of. Yeah. There's all kinds of rings.
That's what I pick.
All right, you go up to this one particular stand. There's a table laying out in front of you with a very nice blackened tent behind it. And on this table, you can see some sort of stand that leans forward and up, displaying all the jewelry on it closer to the eye. And it's not just like laying out on the table, which catches your eye. As you step forward towards this booth, there is a man behind it with slicked back hair that's caught into a ponytail and 3 sets of glasses that have 3 sets of lenses that are like clicking around at all times and kind of like shifting even if he's not messing with them or pressing them. And they're just like clink, 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 like clicking and switching constantly between these different gears. And he looks at you immediately and he like kind of ushers you. He's like, hello, you have an eye for jewelry, do you not? And as his hand ushers at you, he like kind of waves it slowly down in front of all of the rings and perchants that he has at his table. And this small little mechanical spider thing crawls down off of his arm. And it goes down to where this stand is, and it holds its claws out, almost mimicking his motion as he's waving his hand in front of his wares.
Aw, he's so cute. Yeah, I'd like to ask him if he's got any silver rings with a green gem.
And his glasses click and stop for a second. He's like, oh, it's somewhere. Hold on, don't move. Oh, there it is. And he picks it up, and the glasses start clicking again. Ting, 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 ting. And he picks it up, and he has a silver ring with a green gem in it. Can you roll an insight check for me real quick?
All right. Let's see. Am I still just rolling regular and reading insight, right?
Yeah.
Because mine's weird. Okay, cool. Making sure I just got it up. Insight. Okay, see, I got +1 on insight. Okay. So roll a 20.
Yep.
That would be a 4. A
Yeah.
regular 3 plus your 1 on
4.
inside is 4.
Yep.
There's something about this.
Could I was gonna say, could I grab it and do a investigation check on it to see if there's anything weird about it?
No, but I will allow you to roll an assist roll for her. So you could walk up and be like, well, what do you think? You find anything that you like? And this could inspire her to maybe be looking a little bit harder. And it would be like a teamwork insight. So roll yours and we'll split it and see what the average is.
Like, I'll go like, hey, Ray, you find anything you find up to your liking or anything like that?
I think I do.
Insight, right? That is that's a 5.
So a 4. Or wait, no. She had a 4.
So hers was a 4. Mine is a 5.
5 or 4.5 then.
Nothing seems very different about this ring other than the fact that it looks nice and it appears like what you were looking for. But as you're examining it, he notices that maybe you don't know what a good gem cut is. Like maybe you're just like picking it up and looking around just because you're curious. And the glasses stop for a second. That's a good one right there, I tell you. And then they start clicking again, clink, 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 clink. And the spider bot kind of. That'll be 90 shillings, but that's the best ring you ever got right there.
Holy, I knew it. Sir, I mean, I may not know my rings, but I think you'd be able to do a better price for me than that. I'm new to this area. I'm just learning everything here. Surely you would have pity on me.
Oh, well, you know, we I gotta eat too. But I'll tell you what. I have a delivery I was supposed to make later. If you could make that delivery for me, I assume you are a trustworthy person after all. Having that voucher right there, that means you have to be from the temple. So if you wouldn't mind running these crates for me on your way back to the temple, to the tavern near there, it'd be much appreciated.
You could definitely do that.
Okay.
I paused right there. I was like, how about we run the errand? We get that ring for free and another 10 shillings for the trouble.
Oh, now we're really talking. What do you say, Mr. Merchant Man, about that proposition? My friend here is right.
How many
These
shillings do you have
and
left?
we do have things to do today.
She has 65, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm not supposed to do this. But since you're doing me a favor, I gotta compensate you in some way. It'd be against the law, I'm sure, if I didn't pay you. How about I take that voucher off your hands and I will give you 20 actual shillings for the cost.
Oh. I'm gonna have to say, okay, merchant. Or give me 40 shillings.
All right, I'll give you 40 shillings. You got to put those down in your notes, though, because that's not a voucher.
Yeah. Well, I want to give some to my friend over here, too.
Yeah, fair enough.
You help me out, bro.
Yeah, I need me a little pocket filler, too.
Yeah, I want to give him 20. I'll keep 20, he can have 20.
All right, well...
You're helping me carry one of those boxes.
With that and now 20 actual shillings in both of your pocket, your voucher is now used up. So take that out of your inventory.
Now that it's gone, I'm gonna break a little bit of the fourth wall. You realize we gave away 60 for 20, right?
What, didn't I get the ring too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then yeah.
But you only got the ring and 20 shillings when I was trying to get the ring for the favor of getting the crates. Like, hey, we'll take the crates to there, but we get the ring and another 10. So we weren't going to pay for it.
Oh.
Well, the ring was originally 90 though. It's almost one piece of gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So she got not only the ring for free, but then she also made $10, starting from only 60.
You're right.
So she
My bad.
she came
I got
up,
it wrong.
and actually she came up. She came up a little bit because she got you guys each 20 extra.
Yeah. Okay, my ring is. You said it's gold or it's silver? Because I'm gonna write it down.
Silver. Sorry, the
Oh,
estimated
right, I was gonna say,
value is
okay.
1 gold.
So silver ring with green gem.
It's already cutting you guys a discount at 90. But yeah,
I ain't going to the market. It's not this guy. Every time I go to the market, you're coming with me, Vero.
Also, can you guys both roll a passive perception check? That means just your regular perception.
Okay.
Like you don't roll or anything. You just what is your passive perception? My bad.
Oh, what do you mean?
My bad.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
it was my
sheet?
bad. I worded it wrong. What's your passive perception? Like what's your actual perception stat? Like what's your passive perception?
Let's see.
Because you guys are technically engaged in something else right now.
It is a 12.
Okay. Roll a d4, Vero.
Okay, where am I finding that? Because I see my perception. It just says +1.
What's it say under that?
Oh, baby.
My perception's in that long list. It doesn't.
So, okay. So when you look at your character sheet, it should say senses.
Oh, there we go.
And then you see
I
passive
see.
investigation,
All right.
insight, wisdom.
Mine's 11.
perception check.
All right.
I
Yeah,
got
you
a
can also
4
roll a
on my
d4 then.
I can roll a d4. All right. Man, this is so hard to read. Let me get into the chat.
So I got a 4 and Ray got a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing you guys didn't roll the same thing.
Oh.
I'll just say for sake of story, because 4 is normally the best, because that'd be the highest. For sake of story, I'm just gonna flip around number 1 and number 4. Because 4 is pretty high, so you get the cool thing.
Sweet.
Let's go.
All right, so yeah, like as this is happening, there's a lot of like chatter and different people talking and just selling and items being moved, all kinds of things going around behind you guys. You can pick up on some of this chatter with passive perception. Down at one end of the market, kind of near where you guys are, but on the other side of where these booths are lined out at. On the other side of the tents, I meant. There is a group of 3 or 4 people that are covered in these potato sack kind of garments, really, really torn, worn. Almost looks like they're literally wearing what that patch lady was selling. And they have brown hoods and scarves and all kinds of things to try and keep them warm. But they, at the same time, look like they're hobos, essentially. And they are holding all kinds of different cardboard signs and kind of like standing around holding them in the air, and they're going on and on. You hear some different things. The end is near. Dragons are here. Just all kinds of different chanty rhymes from this group, Vero. But yeah, that would be what would catch your ear the most. The end is near. Dragons are here. And they're just kind of going on looking like lunatics while everyone else is just minding their business, going on about their days. Solaris, you hear that brother and sister, they were shopping at a tent near you, and they are kind of going back and forth laughing, and you would hear them pick up, yeah, did you hear? This town's got an animorph. Yeah, but they say that he's not really in dark magic. Well, I gotta see that for myself. Besides, you telling me you don't want to see a living rat man? I guess. I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but I heard he's a drunk. Nah, he's got to be cool. He runs a cheese shop, and they just keep going back and forth. Maybe discrediting this rat man, maybe curious about this rat man. You're not really able to make out their intentions. But after you get done shopping, you guys can engage with any of these two things that you picked up on upon your passive perception.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll go talk to those kids.
You do still have 20 shillings, though, so.
I do have what? Yeah, 20 shillings, yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
take the crates and head towards the hobo people? Because there should be by the bar, no, or the tavern.
Yeah, they are
Or is that?
heading up that way, yeah.
All right, can I take the crates and walk? Like I look at Ray, like, hey, I'm gonna go deliver this because we gave him our word. He trusted us. He gave us a deal. You got your ring. I want you to enjoy the rest of your day in the market. I'm gonna go deliver this and go look at something.
All right.
I won't tell her what I'm gonna go do.
You pick those up and turn around, but you might want to rethink your plan because while you did pick up on those things passively, you did not pick up on what just happened to Cloud and Schnurr. Jimbo and Schnurr. Where did they go?
Oh.
They are now gone. Missing.
Oh no. Well, Jimbo's a pretty decent guy, and Schnurr wouldn't let him get into too much trouble, so not too much to worry about. And then start walking towards the tavern to deliver those boxes and to catch up with those hobo kids.
Hey, I noticed our friends are missing. Maybe later, before we head out of town, we should make sure we check back in with them. Maybe look for them then.
And just put a thumbs up while I'm carrying the crate.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go talk to those kids for a little bit.
Both of you roll a d4 one more time for something different this time.
Okay.
I got a 3. Ray got a 1.
Yeah, I got a 1.
I will. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna keep it based on intuition, I guess. Yeah, I guess for the purposes of this moment, the lantern is gonna follow Vero. Seems to have grown quite attached to his company.
Yeah,
let's
So it's gonna like wobble and kind of like spin around and almost like wave you goodbye, even though it doesn't got arms. It's just gonna like the whole lantern.
I wave back.
Spin around and wobble like a top, and then it's gonna continue following alongside you, Vero, up to this tavern, shining just a little bit brighter forward so that your path is illuminated a little bit. This is its illuminate path ability. Basically, any hazards that because technically right now you're using this as a companion in the companion in the companion system. Since you're now one-on-one and you've developed a bond, while this thing is like walking with you, you can't like be tripped up or like have obstacles pop up on the path without you knowing. This thing is gonna like shine it before you ever. So like if there was like a pit dug in the ground in front of you, for example, this thing would be like woo, 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 and like start telling you like there's something there. It's like aligning the path. And yeah, you're able to make it up to this tavern. It is like up the hill again. That canal that runs down and separates Ratman's and the blacksmiths runs from up here next to where this hill is at, just where the church is at, just on a different hill. And on this other hill, across this bridge where the canal runs in between the two, there is a tavern. It's called the Slanted Drank, and it is called that because, for one, the entire building is literally slanting at like almost a 60-degree slope, and it is like square with a regular roof, but it is slanting Again, it is called the Slanted Drink. And yeah, that's where you need to go to get the crates dropped off to. The dark auburn brown or bright auburn brown of the walls of this place, it is old, but not quite as dilapidated as many of the other buildings around. It is definitely a very well taken care of place, and it is probably not as old as the other places. It has a nice big door on these bright silver hinges, and it does not creak when you open it. It opens real nice and quietly, but as soon as you open it, that quiet is of course broken up by the noise inside, as there's hooting and hollering and all kinds of music jambling, and there's people up on the floor directly in front of you as you walk in, kind of like dancing around, disorientating your view. But just behind them is some sort of bar where there's like a whole bunch of drinks, and a tall orc woman working behind it. She has like 3 mugs in one hand and 3 mugs in another hand, and then she has this ghost hand floating behind her that's like rather big, and it's holding like 4 mugs on it like a tray, and it's just floating behind her. She goes down the bar and starts handing these different drinks out. Booths line the wall to your right and wrap around the wall that would run parallel with the wall to your left right now, but on the opposite side of the room. Both very unnoticeable features. They just have a couple tables at them that are mostly empty. There's not like a cook that works here or anything. So, you know, there's some people around on the drinks and around on the dance floor and are at the bar mainly.
I try to yell a tavern keep. I got a delivery for you from the jeweler. And I just set the box right on the top of the counter.
Yeah, she clearly doesn't notice you at all, as she's like just down there doing her thing. You could set this down, and as you go to leave, you'd feel like a hand on your shoulder, and it appears she has conjured another mage hand. And as you like spin around, it flips upside down, and it has 1 gold coin.
I take it and I just nod my head as a thank you, and then proceed to walk out.
You hear a rather weird sound right before you step through the door. It just sounds like really soft, weak claws, kind of like scratching into dirt, like a real muffled.
Okay.
And then, as the doorknob turns, you kind of like shake it off. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and you hear. It's intangible. You can't really make it out, but it's just like. But yeah, you continue down. Was there anything else that you were trying to do around here, or reason that you wanted to split off?
Try to find the kids with the sacks that we're talking about, or the people that we're talking about, like the Enders near dragons are here, and try to find those people.
All right. Okay, so you circle back down. Don't forget about the blacksmiths too. You need to make your way over there at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd circle back down around to them, and then we're gonna go back to Ray, who that's where she basically went immediately. So we're gonna see what she was saying, and then we can just imagine she fills you in on whatever she wants to catch you up on when your characters meet up again. So yeah, there's these 3 shouting. What now as you get closer to, you can tell they're all female, and they're wearing these like ruined, torn sack-like clothes that are bound together, and they all have these hoods and scarves and different things to weather like all kinds of terrain, even though they appear to just be like hobos. And they have these signs made out of cardboard, and they're like holding them up, and they got various different writing on them. Do you want to roll insight? Or do you just want to walk up and start talking to him? Your call.
My call?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Let's do an insight roll.
All right, go ahead.
Here I go. Look at my insight first. That way I know what it is. Insight is +1. Okay, so roll. Collect.
That is a 7 plus your 1.
So 8.
Is it 8?
Okay. Let's say you're able to make out the writing on 2 of them pretty easily. One of the signs says that dragons circle the south, and one of the other signs says that calamities rest in hearts that resist destiny.
Okay. All right, I guess also, so I'm going to ask them, have you ever really seen a dragon?
One. Okay. Roll charisma. Sorry, what was your question one more time? You asked, have they ever seen dragons?
Yes, they've never really seen. Yep.
Of course we have. You think we'd be out here collecting money for a cause that we don't actually even believe in? The littlest one of them says, "Oh, you've seen a dragon?"
Okay. Collecting money for your cause. What is the cause? Are you trying to keep them away? Are you trying to bring them here?
The third one, whose sign you couldn't see, they were facing the other way, holding it up. They turn around, and you can now see their sign very clearly. And it says the dark veils deserve to die.
Oh, ooh, rough. Guess I really don't know what else I want to know from them.
These could have been some of those groups that Heimdall was warning of.
Okay. Then I think I'm done talking to them then.
She, however, is not done talking to you.
Yep.
She, as you're like, okay, that's cool. She's like, you do know that no one's seen an actual dragon in hundreds of years, only their descendants. But I have seen dragons in my visions. The dragons are near. In my visions, I seen them circling in the south, and there's been a lot of disappearances down there. Entire Legion battalions wiped out. Tell me, what else could do such a thing?
Could I?
And you may now disengage and just walk away if you would like. Vero, sure, this is when you would arrive. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said though. But
you're fine. I was gonna say, could I shadow step right behind the moment there? So I was like, what else could do that?
Yeah, you could.
Can I shadow step right behind him?
Roll intimidation.
Yeah.
Check her out.
Be like, my question is like, Be like, intimidation. At advantage, because I'm sneaking up behind them, right?
And they're engaged with
and
Solaris,
they're talking to Solaris.
Yeah, distracted.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully I rolled twice.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I did. All right, so she would be taking the 7. Don't worry.
Here, I'll roll. I don't know if it came up, but I'll roll intimidation. Did it pop up? I don't know. No.
I see it. Don't you? You're the last one who rolled, right? No, you were just rolling regular.
It would say intimidation. Yeah, it would say intimidation. At advantage.
Ooh.
She's at disadvantage because
21.
she is maintaining focus on Solaris. Solaris, you wouldn't necessarily feel it right away, but you feel that kind of similar feeling when something was poking into your head when you were touching the stone. Some weird intrusion starts to warble over you, but it immediately gets cut off, and that's why she's at disadvantage, is because she has she's not only engaged, but she's maintaining focus to maybe prepare a spell or do some sort of feat that requires focus. She's attempting something that requires focus, and because of that, when you engage with her, Vero, you would already be making her at disadvantage. Not only that, but since you're jumping into Intimidator from behind, and she's already like being targeted with somebody else, or she's targeting her, which is why she's at disadvantage, but she's already currently engaged with Solaris as they're going back and forth. So she's at disadvantage and you are at advantage.
Yeah, I'd be like walking up behind her, like I'd pop like poof. It's like
Very
she asked if
cool.
you've seen one, not if you thought of one. And then just get real close. Have you seen a dragon?
Her eyes get real buggy as if she could see you before you're actually there, but you intimidate the fuck out of her. You jump in behind her and she kind of shakes almost immediately. Her gaze snaps off of Solaris and her two sisters standing to the right, and the three of them would like take a kind of group step together so that they can like they're all intimidated basically, and they would all group together in between you and Solaris. Now you guys are technically on either side of them. Were a skirmish to break out, and they're kind of like intimidated in the middle of you guys. And the lead one that spoke before is the only one that has the courage to even look at you guys in the eyes, as her eyes reconnect with yours, Solaris, before turning around to look back at you, Vero. I knew that there was one of you around. I could smell it.
Answer my question. Have you seen a dragon?
I've seen them in my visions. I am a gifted seer. Or I was. Before the visions. Or before the dragon visions. They seem to have cut off my source of natural magic. Either that or some shadow veiled stole it.
I tried to look at her, like scanning her up and down, and be like, and I asked, was like, what do these visions say? Or what's the closest dragon in your visions?
You intimidated her pretty bad, it appears.
It's a critical fail number.
That's supposed to be a history check for her, but I'm gonna take it as the dice are trying to show me that you basically like won this interaction. That's supposed to be a history check for her to see how much she would know about what actually happened down there. Don't hurt me. If you want information on dragons, you have to search out a knight. His name's Heimdall. He has all the answers you want.
I like, how tall is that person? The little person, or not the little person, the person who's talking. How tall are they?
Like the tall one, the eldest sister is like, they're elves, by the way, elflings. She's like 7 feet maybe. The middle one like 6 feet, and the short one like 4 feet maybe. Somewhere in there.
I grabbed the short one, like head. I was like, if you're lying to me, this one will pay.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that they don't even have the chance to try and roll deception right now. They're definitely all intimidated, as said. It's not they don't give you much information, not because they don't have it, but because or not because they're trying to withhold it, but because they physically don't have much more than that. They would know that she's seen in her vision. You could have asked her what type of dragon. She's seen something flying down on the south side of the continent, and with that and her information that she's been doing on research and stuff to capture more people like you, she would know that the Legion doing something or another. She doesn't know what they're doing, but she would know doing something or another, and a whole bunch of the Legion just got taken out. So she would know that not only is Heimdall telling the truth, his captain is gone, but more like entire battalions of troops are gone. And that's probably all she would know, other than what she might be able to describe what she's seen a little bit.
Okay. I look at Solaris. Is there anything else you want to ask them?
I'm pretty sure you got everything out of them. But thank you.
And I just I lift my hand off the smaller one and then start heading towards the blacksmith.
I was gonna say sun is setting, and you guys were told to be back at sunset. So the sun is like starting to arch down in the sky. You do get the feeling like you should probably move now if you want to do any more shopping. And they're definitely clearly shaken up. As you guys walk away from this interaction, you actually see that they're packing up. They're just gonna kick out of town, shove off. It appears. they're like, all right, that's not one we need to be fucking with. Let's leave him alone. Let's get out of here. But it is weird because in all of your life and all of your travel, you have never encountered something like that. Bandits, sure. Maybe people that even want to take people to force them to be in their armies, sure. But nothing like what you just experienced from these people. And it would bring to light in mind just a little bit like Heimdall's original message, like if someone else were to catch you out here, it could be very bad. So maybe he knew that they were watching them or watching around. But yeah, it would bring that back to mind, that original thought, because you've never had an interaction like this. You maybe haven't seen very many elflings, though, either, other than the one back at the church, the brother and sister. And then you get to the blacksmiths. Over there is a Quickwit and his wife, so there is a gnome and a female gnome, and they're kind of both like working around. There's this big arching wood building with these stone pillars, 6 of them to be in fact, 4 that support the main house. It's kind of like slanted up against this semi-impermanent, but maybe the main structure of the house. You're confused what's actually happening with this hodgepodge blacksmith home. It appears they live in the blacksmith part, and the shack part is just there because they needed to actually have a house to have a property, maybe. And this hodgepodge of a home with this centermost platform and these wooden structures over top of it and these supporting beams is all connected by a nice, smooth and white brick base, much like the arches that you've seen over the bridges. In the center of this giant rectangle platform in the middle of this hodgepodge building, there is a giant live kiln that is burning and flowing and built up with these bricks that looks like a well, almost like a rock well that is coming out over top of this in-ground kiln. And 2 Quickwits, a male and a female, that jump and hop around this innermost part of this hodgepodge, grabbing different fuels and sources of ores and throwing them in. The 2 kind of bouncing around, hopping onto one's shoulders and then hopping from that shoulder to the table, grabbing something off the table and throwing it down to the other one, and then they would throw it in the kiln, and then they would hop down off the table, move over to a different table, and process repeat, jump up on top of each other's shoulders, and then jump to the table, grab something, throw it down to the other one, and wash, rinse, and repeat as they circle around this room, collecting different ingredients and throwing it into the kiln. It appears like you got here at a good time as they're just firing up the kiln for maybe their last mold or project of the night.
Awesome. Could I knock and say sorry to intrude in your humble shop, and then just walk in?
Yeah, there's no door. Yeah, you can. Yeah, there.
Oh,
It's like a square structure, platform with pillars and a hodgepodge roof atop of it, with a leaning shack like setting up against this square with these pillars and this roof. And then in the middle is everything I just explained. And there's not really any other walls, or maybe, there's like a pile of wood maybe and some other resources gathered up and around, some big barrels and drums, and some tables and equipment, and maybe, just some chairs laying around. But yeah, there's no doors or any apparent furniture here. These two live for the forge. This is like their thing. And yeah, you can just like walk right up to it, and the guy turns around and he's like, "Oh, hello, traveler. I hope you got money. And I'm Pa." "And I'm Ma." The female jumps in and she's like, "Please tell me you got some gold." And they kind of go back and forth dancing around. And they're like, "There's got to be something you want. We live to make and break and shape the mold." And they hit their hammers at the same time in unison. Ting!
I'm just imagining it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
All right. It's like, well, Paul, I have a question. Would you happen to have a mold or already made some type of daggers, and then like something that would comfortably fit these hands, and I show them my hands?
Oh yeah, they could definitely make you an appropriately sized dagger, or you could select one from some they have. And roll an insight check real quick.
You sure you want me to?
Yeah.
Damn. I got a 5.
Your eye drifts for a moment across the room, the various ores. They look very, very impure, and you're looking at some of the products on the table. The product material does not look like it's actually coming from these ores that you're seeing laying about, and there's also a weird barrel that's like stuffed with odds and ends, different armor plating and weaponry and different odds and ends. Kind of looks like a bargain bin.
Yeah. Could I ask Morph the Wisp to look into that bargain bin to see if he had, and show him my hands, like, hey, can you find something that can fit this?
Morph accidentally knocks over the bargain bin barrel. He's like, and it, and all, like, just everything comes scattering out of it. Most notably, you don't really see anything that is going to help you. It looks like everything's been like cut in half or broken or scrapped down. And Ma's like, "Oh, look, they knocked over your parts barrel." He's like, "Oh," and he like walks over there really hurriedly. You actually see a serious look on his face as he runs over there and starts picking these things up and holding them tightly clenched up against his chest like a child would their action figures.
I see that those are very precious to you, Pa. Is there anything you'd like to tell me about those pieces?
He starts stacking them back very carefully into the barrel. Oh man, I've been in love with the forge my whole life, and for a little bit there, I thought I could go off to school and be an artificer, but no, these hands ain't gentle enough for the inner workings of the machine, only for the hard call of the forge.
Well, if you would have went off to that school, you wouldn't have met me, though, right, Pa?
Oh, that's right. I wouldn't have met the second love of my life if I would have went off to that school.
And she, like, stops, and now you see a serious look on her face. Second love of your life?
And then they both laugh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the forge.
And they both wipe some sweat from their brow. And then he stops, admiring his laugh and his thought in this moment with his wife, and he picks up a peculiar piece off the ground.
Yeah, I could probably part with that one.
And he hands you a hunk of crap. It appears to be some sort of scythe blade that was cut long ways to shrink it in half weight-wise. So the entire length of the scythe is like long ways down the blade, and the curvature has been sliced, leaving only the sharpened blade part and the actual chunk of the scythe that would connect to the pole. And then there is 2 pieces of brass or brass lock gears that are locked affixed to the top of the scythe hitch where it would set down on the pole. And it appears like these 2 hinges, these 2 brass lock hinges, are to flick off of the scythe with. Maybe like you could fix this scythe to something and then have a blade that would like pop out or move.
Could I see if it can adjust to my wrist? See if it fits through my wrist?
You might need to cut it down a little bit for that. It is a scythe blade, not like a dagger blade. It's a decent size. You could definitely affix it to like a staff or
Okay.
Yeah. It is definitely
I'll take that piece.
Yeah, it's definitely a good piece of material too. And he's just gonna give it to you. You can pay him whatever you want, whatever you think it's worth.
Can I pay him the gold coin that I got from the tavern? I was like, I'll make great use of this. Thank you for trusting this with me. And I give him the gold coin.
Yeah, anything. Now that I got that out of the bargain bin, I'm gonna have to create some new stuff. Just making space. I should thank you for hauling that sack of junk out of here. I don't even know where I got that from. I think it was some crazy vagrant wanderer. I don't know. I think he said it fell from the stars or something. Never really did identify the source material. And come to think about it, I never figured out how they got it shaped like that. Like I said, it does appear kind of like a scythe, but more straightened out. It looks like this was like naturally formed somehow. But you're looking at just the blade piece now.
Gotcha.
Can
I use the voucher for a I want to say either a thieves dagger or an assassin's dagger.
The spell dagger, and it can be flavored into any material you like. For this purpose, we'll just say like basic materials. This only really matters if you plan on doing like transmutation with it or anything like that. So you can pick the material. You could have copper, just any basic material that you could think a blade could be made out of. The alchemical choice is yours. I'm letting you add basically any flavoring to it that you would like.
I'll take the silver one.
Yeah, I think silver's pretty good. Helps against most undead.
That is if you're using silver spells for transmutation. Yeah, so anyways, it does a d6 of slashing damage, or piercing damage, sorry. I was reading the sword for a second. A d6 of piercing damage, and a d4 to your next magical cast after you land a successful attack with it.
So D6 base, DC basic or slash?
Piercing. Sorry.
Piercing. DC piercing. And then a D4
onto your next magical attack. So if you do a follow-up attack, like you stab someone and then you cast magic afterwards, even if it's like next turn, you get a d4 to your next magical attack. It's a pretty nice little dagger. It just means that you're literally it means you're literally carrying your elemental choice on you. That magical attack only works with silver though, just to clarify, by the way. So that's only for if you're casting a silver-based chemical spell, transmutation spell, which is your flavoring choice. Any of the spells can be flavored however you want it. I'm just letting you know. It's for those elemental type spells. I think there's a couple different ways you can choose to use it, but it'd basically be any metal transmutation. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just make sure it's easy to clarify, easy to follow along with. So yeah, that'd be any spell bonus that aligns with that type that has synergy with metal typing. For yours, it's silver, but it's really just metal. We're just giving it
Yep, a
flavor.
D6 piercing and then silver D4 magical attack.
Yes. To your next attack. So that means your target to hit when you roll to try and hit them, you could add your D4 there. You could add your D4 in the damage process. It just imbues it with that D4, and you get to choose. So.
Okay.
It's going to cost you 80 shillings. So that would put you at 10 shillings left. You want to just put 10 shillings in your pocket and make your way on to the church?
Sure.
All right. We'll go ahead and put the spell dagger in your inventory and the 10 shillings in your inventory. Was there anything you needed to shop for, Solaris? I'm pretty sure you're like set on weapons.
Yeah, I'm done. Good.
Okay. I was just making sure that you didn't want to shop for anything while we were there. All right. And then you guys continue back to the church. It is literally almost sunset. You could not have timed it more perfect. It is beginning to crescent this darkness over the sky. And Heimdall and Father Tailius are both outside, ushering in all the other people that have returned just moments before you. They're all filling up the stairs to the church as you guys hit the bottom of the hill and you guys start walking up the hill. Savage, you still have this feeling like someone is staring at you. But Heimdall interrupts, cutting the feeling off. Hey, you guys were really cutting it close, huh? I was worried about you. You know, it's not really safe out here for you guys. I don't know if I express that sentiment to the fullest.
So we just got lost track of time. Got sidetracked with a few things, but we're here.
Awesome, yeah.
How was your... Yeah, go.
Father Tailius is just helping everyone else get set up inside, and then we're gonna get ready to set out in the morning. Did you guys get everything you guys need from the vouchers?
We sure did.
All right. Well, Father Tailius has got something to say to you guys, so go ahead and head on in and find out where you guys are going to be staying in for the night. And I'll see you guys in the morning, probably.
All right, Heimdall.
And with that, Episode 4, Arrest in Riverwood, comes to a subtle close. The sun settles low behind Riverwood's quiet rooftops. The turning canals of ribbons of gold, the long day finally exhales, leaving only the soft murmur of evening lanterns and the lingering scent of fresh bread in the river wind. After tense negotiations beneath the church's hidden hall, where whispers of resistance and shadow gates tugged at destiny, Vero, Solaris, Ray, Jimbo, and Schnur stepped back into the open air and chose to once rest. They wandered the markets like real students, not chosen heroes, tried on their cloaks, laughed at overpriced pastries, and traded coins for trinkets. They may yet become important, but little anchors to remind them that joy still exists in a world pulling apart at the seams. Our quiet rest wasn't all it appeared, though little usually is. Something ancient has begun to awake, and all of them can feel it. Until our next one, keep staying in touch and keep those spells ready. There's always more mysteries on the horizon in Spells and Scepters.
Before the world knew flame or fate, before the sanctum raised its gate, a dragon wandered tired and worn through misty skies of silver morn. It searched for peace, a place to lie, beneath the glow of moonlit sky, and in a valley hushed between two gentle hills of twilight green, it bowed its head in softened light and drifted deep to dreams of night. It dreamed of fire burning bright, of honor shining pure and white, of moonlit sacred, calm and true, of secrets old and wonders new. From dragon dreams the whispers grew, a hint of halls the world once knew, where mysteries danced in shadowed air, and magic bloomed in hearts that dare. That was the dawn of what would be, where five fought fate and unity. Their story closed, their watch now done, five voices fading into one. And so I speak across the yore to those who brave what lies before. O hero born of flame or field, of moonlit craft or truth concealed, step forth, past revealed, come soon your fate unsealed. For now the sanctum stirs to see what new made legends you will be. The dragon breathes the dream once more, a calling through the ancient door. Hero before the past is through, the tale now waits to open you. Take clues I've left in mist and dew. Seek what is hidden, chase what's true. For the sanctum keeps its promise still. In silent halls and moonlit chill, it watches all you choose to do. And it's long been waiting here for you.